Hey guys, it's DJ's Power here. So today we're going to be going over 3 aluminum trainers, 2 of which are clones, and we have svixco. So, they're all channel aluminum, and they're all Zen pins. So, we have the svixco Zephyr, which retails at $135. We have the Triton Clone, which comes out at about like $40, and the Squid Trainer Clone, which comes at about $45. So with these knives, I wanted to go over which one would be the best, whether you're starting, competitive flipping, etc., etc. Because they're all, the same category of aluminum channel. So I figured it'd be a good idea to go over all 3 of them and figure out which one's the best. Figure out which one's the best for each type of flipper. So I guess we'll start with this guy because he wants to jump out. So the Triton Clone I've had for about a year now. As you can see, I've beaten it quite a bit. This is my beater, so it's kind of, destroyed a bit. There's like some fuzz. Here's handle play. And of course, tap. Considering I've had it for a year and it's been my beater, it flips basically like new still. And this is the only one out of the 3 that has bushings. So, keep that in mind. So, this one is also the blockiest out of the 3. So if you look at the actual handle profile, if it'll focus, it's very, very blocky. Now if we look at the Zephyr, it's very rounded on the edges, and the same goes for the Squid Trainer Clone. Not as much for the Squid Trainer Clone, but definitely it's not as sharp on the corners as the Triton. God. When it comes to hardware, the Zen pin screws are fine, which, this is the one thing about the clone that's different from the original. It actually has screws for the Zen pins. Typically they're press fit, like the Squid Trainer Clone and the Zephyr, which are both press fit. The real Triton is also press fit, but these ones have screws. I much prefer having screws, and I will go over that later. The actual hardware itself is decent quality. The Zen pin screw quality is a lot better than the actual pivots. So don't be surprised if your pivots strip, because the hardware is not that great. Both of mine have stripped. Can't really see it that well. There is one thing I do want to show about this knife that is a little weird. Now, it could just be mine, but if you see that pivot screw, this female pivot screw right here, on the other side, it's perfectly in. And I can loosen it and it'll come out. But on this side, it actually got stuck in the blade. Now, I don't know if that was the bushings or if that was the female screw itself, but it's stuck, and I can't get it out. I could take off this screw and still flip it because this is stuck in the blade. But it doesn't bother me that much because it's a beater, so. And it's still flippable, and it still sounds nice. Swing, of course, swings freely. Now, I do think this knife sounds really, really nice. And that's even without it being oiled. Like, it's still very bouncy. And it's a lot of fun to flip. So for $40, this is great. And I think this is probably the best starting knife you can get, even though it's very slippery. Which is good, because then if you move on to a grippier knife, you know, you'll have a lot more control. So if you can control a slippery knife, you should be perfect. Handle length is 5.5 inches. Blade length, I think, is 5 overall. And it's like 4.75 or something about that. So obviously this is a clone. But then again, even CCCs are typically clones. So typically, a starting knife is probably going to be a clone. So I don't think having a better quality clone for a first knife isn't an issue at all. And I think even purists can agree on that one. So, only problem I think that starters might have is differentiating the bite handle from safe handle. Now, you do have the nub, like the real Triton. And for me, I have tape for the bite handle, so you could do that. So, yeah, this is definitely a great starter. Now, next, we'll go to Squid Trainer Clone. This is a very weird knife. Now, first, let's start with this. The Triton is a Ken Fong clone, or the one. This is a Bally Plus clone. So, I've never liked Bally Plus, but they're the only ones that make this at the moment, so I kind of had to get from them. They also make a Mako clone, which I ordered, and I'm waiting for it to get here. So, I'll do a video of that when I get it. But I've had this for maybe 2 months now. So, now, remember how I was going to talk about how Zen pins I prefer if they're screws instead of pins and press fit? The reason for that is because these actually, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it, but they move. They are wiggly. They're not, like, stuck in place. Let me grab this guy. So I do have another Squid Trainer clone in black. Now, I didn't just tape this over because it's the bite handle. I taped it over also because the weight in the bottom is loose. Now, I don't know if you can see that. Oh, you can see it. Yeah. So it comes out, and I will have to push it back in. Here, let's see if I can do this. So it's very loose in there, and it could probably come out. And I'm gonna see if I can find a way to do this. I can't really show it, but these end pins are also loose. Now another problem with this one is it hits the inside of the handle a lot. Whereas the blue one does a little bit, but not as much. Oh, this is bad. So, this guy is a lot better quality than the other one, but yet it's still the same manufacturer, and they were in the same package. Because I ordered 2 of them. Now, it's kind of a gamble if you order them, because you could get one that I have, like the black one, or you can get one like I have with the blue one. But the one thing that has for both of them is loose Zen pins. Are they coming out? No, but they're a little loose, so could be worse. Now the actual overall feel of the knife, it feels the exact same as a real Squid Trainer. And that's not an exaggeration. This is just as smooth, and it has about the same weight balance. Only thing this one has is a little more, like, loose feeling. Here's handle play. So it has more handle play than the Triton, and it has more handle play than the svixco, as you'll see. And of course, ton of tap. It does have the texturing, like the newer squid trainers, so that's cool. It doesn't have it on the sides, also like a real squid trainer. It is the lightest out of the three, but it still does flip very good. So, yeah, this guy is definitely good, but I would definitely go for the Triton over Squid Trainer. And last but not least, we have svixco. Now, obviously, this is the best flipper out of the three. And I think that this is a better trainer than the Squid Trainer. I think this is the best aluminum trainer you can get, period. And it can get even better if you get one of the bushing reblades or the new bushing versions. Svix makes amazing stuff, and I love this trainer. It has the best balance out of the three, it has the best build quality out of the three, and it sounds the best in my opinion. Here is handle play, the least out of the three, but it still has tap. Now here we take into account price. This is $135. The Triton is $40. I think this is great for someone who's more experienced and really knows that they want to stick to the hobby. But I think this is great as a starter, and I think this is the best starter you can get. However, this thing just sucks compared to the other two. You should not spend the extra $5 and get one of these. You should not get one of these over a svixco. However, I do think you should still own one. I think it's a lot of fun to flip, and I think if you get lucky with the manufacturing and it doesn't have loose weights or Zen pins, I think it's a great trainer. I think it's a lot of fun to flip, and I think it would make a fantastic beater. Not as good as the Triton, but definitely good. So, I'd say this is the best for the money, and this is the best for a new flipper. And it still sounds really good. And you can beat it, so you know it's not going to fall apart on you. But I think this is the best, just period. I think this is the best flipper. I think this is the best, like, build quality, the best feel, and just the best looking. I think Svix did a great job on the looks. And I think this is also the grippiest. The bead blast finish makes it feel a lot grippier than the Squid Trainer and the Triton. And now here we get to the controversial statement. I think you should get this over a regular Triton. The Triton has no bushings, and it feels a little bit more gritty, and this feels a lot smoother. And I think there is zero reason to ever get a Squid Trainer. I think it's a good flipper, and I think that the real thing is better build quality than this, but the same, swing, same smoothness, same feel. And I don't think it's worth $150. I think the svixco is just better, and it's cheaper. I think you should definitely not get a real Squid Trainer or a real Triton. I think you should go for the clones. And I'm not just saying that because, I like clones. I'm saying that because I've tried both of them. And I can tell you that it's not worth the money. You can get 3 of these for the price of 1 Triton. You can get 3 clones for the price of 1 real Triton. And yet this flips, in my opinion, better than the real Triton. And the Squid Trainer just, like, it's alright. It's a good flipper, but I don't think it's worth $150. And I don't think this is worth even $45. I don't think it's that great. It sounds nice, it feels nice, but the build quality kind of brings it down a lot, and I don't like how it's risky to buy one, because you might get one that's garbage quality. Basically what I'm saying is just don't buy from Bally Plus. They suck. Go for Ken Fong. Go for the one. So that's my take on aluminum trainers. If you guys want me to do any more comparison videos, or like any specific types, like, you know, titanium knives, or, you know, sandwich knives, period, you know, just kind of different areas, leave a comment. And I hope this video was helpful to you. Sorry about my, you know, garbage commentary and my kind of all over the place reviews on them. But hopefully this helped you in any way. And that's it from me. Have a good one.